All right, so what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be installing the RSX Intercooler piping kit. Now, this will work for EM2 and EP3 as well, but it was specifically designed for the RSX, but I know we share the same chassis as those cars. But we're going to be covering the details, what it comes with, and as well how to install it and what to expect with the kit. We did end up adding one little thing, which you guys are going to like. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and show you guys what you're going to be getting with the kit. So here we have the intercooler piping kit, and I'm going to go down and show you everything you're going to be getting. All right, so you're going to get all the couplers, and what we ended up doing is we actually brand all our couplers, so you'll be able to distinguish, if you had any other kit. So all of our couplers do have our names, just know that. And then it will come also with all the clamps that you need to, okay? And then here we have 4 pipes, okay? So what we ended up doing is we ended up doing a CNC bends on this, so that way it will make this kit more affordable for you guys and better for us as well, so we didn't have to pipe cut everything. Because if you look at some pictures there that we have of the original kit, we actually had to pipe cut a lot of these pieces, and what that actually ends up doing is a lot more work for us, and it just makes the higher cost on you guys. And so we got a little bit smart with it, and that's how we ended up making the kit so affordable for you guys. So with that being said, is our kit will come with a blow off flange, and this is for a 50 millimeter. Okay, so do keep that in mind. You can get pretty much everywhere now is they're all 50 millimeters. And I'm not aware if anything is smaller, but just know that. Obviously, you will need to pull your O-ring there, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do when we go ahead and get to that point. And then we also polish all the pipes, okay? So they were originally kind of raw finish. I wasn't too happy about it, so we ended up polishing all of them. And then we also added the bevels here in the end, and this is to prevent from the couplers to come off, okay? Having straight pipes without this pieces right here, it's really bad when you're in the dyno, you're trying to tune the car, and you're making 500, 600, 700 horsepower, and you have couplers come off. It's really not ideal for your tuner, okay? So the piece that we end up adding, it is right here. It's called your intake temp sensor adapter piece, okay? So we originally were going to supply this from K-Tune, but it was just cheaper for us to supply it if we made it our own. So I do want to make sure I say that up front. So now it would just come with the kit. Before we were going to add it on top, but us making it our own, it's just made it a lot better for you guys. And I'm going to show you exactly how this goes and how important this is, okay? So this will be going right here, the one bio throttle body, and it will just thread on there. So the intake temp sensor is very important to the K series, okay? Not having this plugged in, period, it will just not make your cams work. It will throw your engine code. It just makes the engine not happy at all. It is crazy how much of a difference this little sensor can make, believe it or not. So this is to read the air inside the temps, so your tuner is able to know how hot everything is being. So in order to put this, you are gonna need to trim this a little bit. See if it'll focus the little ends. See if it'll focus. It's focusing in the back. Come on. Oh, right there. So you can see here we have to trim it, and this is just for all. You'll have to just trim the little edges, okay? And that's gonna go in just like this, okay? You are gonna have to push it down a little bit so you can see here. Okay, so it goes in just like that, and it has an O-ring right there, you can see. And then what's it gonna do is, you can see here, we have this little aluminum little piece, so it goes on just like that. Mind this, I'm doing this with one hand, and then the other one will come on top, and it will press it down and hold it in place. See if I can do this with one hand so you can see here how it's gonna work. See if I can do this with one hand. All right, so there you go, it's going. All right, so you'll press it all the way down, okay? And then what you're gonna be doing is, okay, you're gonna be putting this on here just like that. I didn't want to do this outside at the car just because it just gets complicated. I'm trying to thread this on for you guys. There you go. So it would just go like that, put a crescent wrench, tighten it all the way flush, and that's gonna be what you need to do for the intake temp sensor, okay? We wanted to save you guys the headache, shopping around, trying to find the piece that works, the thread. We just wanted to do everything all at once. That way, when you get it, you just throw it on, and there's no need to worry about anything else on the intercooler piping kit. One thing I do want to mention is with the intercooler piping kit is designed to work with the RBC manifold, okay, and our turbo manifold. Okay, if you don't have any of those stuff, or at least our turbo manifold, you are gonna need to make some small modifications, okay? And I'll show you exactly how it looks in the car right now when we go outside and install all this. You can get an idea. But if you don't have that, and the last piece, you don't have to have our crash bar with the intercooler mounts, because you can just mount this exactly how it needs to be in the middle, and you should have no problem. But you know, that's just something I want to say. This was specifically designed around our parts, so we can have our crash bar, our turbo manifold, and then you can just have a stock RBC. Stocks RBC have made, guys have made, from what I'm aware, they have made up to 950 horsepower. And that's people pushing it, and it's plenty more for your average person. If you're just trying to make around, I'll say RBC is good from 400 to 800 horsepower. They are plenty enough, okay? So I do want to say that. Other than that, I mean, you're going to get 4 pipes. You can see them here, and I'll show you exactly how they're going to be going, because they're all, each of them are different, okay? So we're going to go ahead and go outside and show you where each coupler is going to go, which is clamp going to go. And yeah, one thing I do want to mention, okay, it is that one coupler we have, it was designed around the K-Tune 80 mil throttle body. Okay, so this is the one that's going to go here. This is the one that's going to be going through your throttle body, okay? So this will go on here, and it will go to an 80 mil, okay? So if you don't have an 80 mil, this is just for now, not something we want to deal with. Is there's so many different sizes of throttle body everybody has. Everybody has 74, 72 stock, 80, 82 mil, as in 90 mil. It is just very difficult to please somebody in that spec. So we're just going to supply them with this one. If you do need let's say you have the stock one, you're going to need to buy a different coupler to the size of whatever throttle body you have. So our piping is 2.5 inch. So whatever other manifold intake throttle body you have, you're going to need to match it to that, okay? Either from 2.5 to 3 inch to whatever the case might be, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that ahead of time. As of right now, we're not looking to put that option there on the website. It's just gonna make a headache for us, and I feel like if you just able to find one coupler, it's really not that hard, because we already make everything so simple. We even added this at no cost, believe it or not, because it wasn't designed to come with the kit. But we just feel like at this point with this is something very simple and fairly cheap to really make it perfect for your own kit. So we're gonna go ahead and install the intercooler piping kit. I'm gonna give you guys a little quick teaser. This is something that's gonna be coming later in a couple months. So when you do see them on the website, just know they're gonna be available. So we're doing a full titanium intercooler piping kit. You can see here how many pipe cuts it takes to make this. So that is something that we are going to be working on here in the next couple months. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and install the aluminum. Just know that when you do see the titanium, it's going to be the same specs as this, but obviously not the same price, but the same concept as routing everything. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take this one off, and then I'll show you what we need to do in order to start installing the aluminum one. So we have the piping off, and one thing I'm gonna go ahead and cover, you don't have to do it, but believe me, it makes a lot of difference, and it helps a lot for the pipes not to rub in each other. And that's gonna be here at the bottom. So what I end up doing is I actually trim this all the way flush, so you can see here. See if you can get a better picture. Yep, there you go. So you can see it was about a 1/2 inch longer here. So what I end up doing is I shave this nice and flush, and that's gonna allow the pipe to travel very, very freely. I will highly recommend to trim this. You are gonna have to trim here just a little bit, okay? And then the last one, you're gonna have to bend this one up. You can trim it or bend it, that's gonna be your choice. I just ended up bending it just a little bit, but you're gonna have to trim this. You don't have to trim this, but I cannot stress this enough. It should just be, you should just trim it. So gonna be here, here, and then that's about it that you have to do. And I'm gonna go ahead and start laying out the pipes and show you how exactly it's gonna be going. Okay, so here we have 2 pipes. Obviously you can see one is longer than the other one. The one that's longer is going to be going up top, and the one that's shorter is going to be at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on. And one thing I do want to mention is they are 2 different couplers that go here. So this one is a straight 45, and this one is sort of like I don't know what degree will be. I can't remember the right specs. It's different, okay? So I do want to mention that. So don't get them confused, because if you do put this one up here, it's not going to fit if you have our crash bar. So you can see here, it is a very, very tight fit. But if you put the coupler up top here, it will work. Okay, so actually I'm gonna go get it and show you guys the difference between these both. Right, so here we have the couplers. This one right here, you can see the 45 is literally the one for here. Okay, and then you can see clearly this is different from this, and this is going to be the one that's going to be going here up top. Okay, and that's just going to make the angle go down just perfect. And like I said, we have both of the pipes here, and then the bigger one is going to be up top, and then the smaller one is going to be at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them on and show you how it looks. Right, so you can see here, we put the one up top and then the one at bottom. I did put it in probably about maybe 1.5 to maybe 2. I tried to push it in as far as I could, and then I got them lined up here. And then here we're gonna put the 2 straight couplers, and then we're gonna go straight up. Now the way we designed this, I wanted the couplers to be here. I didn't want a full straight. We could have, but it just be very difficult if you ever need to take the pipes off. I just didn't want to route that way. And the other problem we were running into is if we put the 90s here, it's very difficult whenever you have to take the couplers off. It's just complicated. So we made it easier for you guys to put the couplers here outside. So if you ever do need to modify it, as in like need to take them off and on, what I mean, it's easier to get to. And I'll show you after I put the top ones on, and we'll go from there. So here I do have a different intake manifold. This is a Gato Performance ones. So we have to modify my piping to fit here because originally we have made it with an RBC. So I'm letting you know right now ahead of time, if you do have like a Skunk 2 or even a Gato, I'm gonna show you exactly where you need to modify in order to fit. But if you have an RBC or a stock manifold, this should just fit right on us. So we're gonna put the pipe going to the throttle body first. Now this is my original pipe. Like I showed you, we had to modify it, and what we ended up doing is making it 1 inch shorter. And you're like, why you guys modified it if you guys are making your own stuff? Again, we had send the files so we can get all our pipes pretty much pre-vent, and the pieces that we need to be cut and re-welded ourselves. So this was already pre-done, and I didn't originally think that we needed to modify it if you had a different intake manifold, but turns out that you do have to. Okay, so I'm show you how easy it is. So it goes straight to the bottom, and this will go straight like this. Actually, let me go ahead and put this on. See if I can do this. There you go. You can see. Oh, there you go. You guys are not watching. So the reason we angle it here as well is for the shifter. So the shifter don't hit any of this. So you can see here, it comes right onto here, right onto our coupler. And I'm doing this with one hand. And as you can see here, this is what I mean to trim this. Okay. So if you didn't trim it, as you can see here, the pipe will be hitting here. Obviously you can push this out a little bit if you really don't want to trim that, but like I said, I just highly recommend to trim that, because now the pipe does fit just a lot more snug in this area. So you can see here, it's coming along really nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the last pipe, and then that should be it. All right, so here we have the last pipe, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and slide it down. It's a little tricky. I'm gonna have to do it off the phone because it's hard to hold the phone and do this at the same time. All right, so I'm out of breath just a little bit. So I got both of the pipings. One recommendation I will have to say is don't put any of the clamps until you're fully done mocking everything up, pretty much to the stage that I am. So you can see here, we're all the way done. And then I will open the clamps and pretty much start throwing them on, and make sure we have no issues. Everything fits perfect. As you can see here, And yeah, we're ready to make some boost. We're gonna have to put our blow off flange. Please don't forget the O-ring, okay? Cannot stress this enough. I see a lot of all the times on the forums on Facebook, people just forgetting to put the O-ring here. All right, so that's about it, guys. It's pretty simple. We are gonna be producing our own intercooler here in the next few months as well. We want to make it as much as our own kit as possible. Right now, you either have to do the PLM or the Speed Factor intercooler. We want to be able to supply pretty much the whole kit with our own brackets. We already have our own crash bars. So we're trying to make it as our own as much as possible. But right now, this is how it's going to be done. I mean, PLM stuff is absolutely great quality, no complaints at all. But like I said, we're just trying to make it our own. If you do have any questions, please email me. I know a lot of you guys like to DM, but email is going to be the best way to get a hold of me. If you have any questions, please let me know. And then yeah, simple, super easy kit. You got to put the clamps, you put them right here. There's no need to be putting clamps in here. I've done that in the past, and it's not fun at all, especially one comes off in the dyno and you got to fix a clamp here. Everything's hot. Just not fun, guys. Pretty much I put all my experience through the years to make this as easy as possible and add everything that you could possibly can with the kit. So you can see here I just have my temp sensor adapter on the other piece that I was showing you guys. But yeah, so make sure you do angle your turbo piping, your turbo manifold, kind of how I like have it, like I have it. You can see perfect, nothing crazy, angled to the sky like I've seen some people do it. I wanted to do it simple, clean, nothing crazy, just works, you know. So there you go, guys. Hopefully the video is very helpful for you guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, please hit me up.